thing. Florida's the same.
Whoop-de-doo. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're back. Yeah, all three of us joining again. It is Monday, November 17th. We got Adam, the Pale Man Peak, coming live from Utah,
Florida,
and you got Utrecht. You got Corey, the Caveman Connors, host of Sustainable Packaging Podcast, coming live from Seattle, the PNW,
Southern Seattle. Yes, Portland. It's
Portland, Maine, everybody.
Portland, Maine. The great Northwest.
Me, the Valley of Monts, is host of Packaging Unboxed from same old place with the same old
bougie.
Yeah, all right, man. So we got a bunch of stuff.
Coffee with cheese and his pinky up.
That's right. I just polished it off, man. You missed it. It was amazing. Yeah. So Adam finally left the state. He was in sunny Florida for a little bit, and Corey was gone. He was Oobleck. So good stuff, man. So before we jump in, let us know what you guys are, if you guys are watching. If you're not watching, I totally get it. I screwed up on the time. I set it for an hour ago, but daylight savings kind of screws me up sometimes.
I just saw the vertical thing. I'm missing a panel here. Has fallen off. Over here, panel is good.
Oh, yeah. I see your
this is new. I gotta make an update.
He's adding panels.
Oh, nice. All right, man. So, Corey,
yes,
you were out at Oobleck. What happened? Tell us all about it.
The Sustainable Packaging Summit used to be in Amsterdam. This year, for the first time, it was in Utrecht, Holland, which is about a 29-minute train ride from Amsterdam. Really easy to get to, and what a beautiful place. Just an incredible town. I can't wait to go back next year. I plan to bring my family. It's like Amsterdam, but not as crowded, and maybe a few less people is tourists and things like that. So,
do they have a green light district there where you just ride your bike around and there's no stop?
That's all about. They just talk. They lecture you about sustainability. They're like, okay, yeah, have you recycled today? And you pay for that service, so it's worth it. It's good value. But one of the best shows I've ever been to, the Sustainable Packaging Summit. Packaging Europe team is really top notch, and I can't wait to go back.
Tim Sykes and that team over there.
Yeah, they do a great job, and spend a lot of time on stage, either moderating panels or doing fireside chats or presenting what we call the Merging Tech Stage, and that was really cool. They had 20 brand new either companies or services within larger companies or new products that they were talking about for the first time.
Okay. Did you keep your clothes on this time?
What? What did you ask?
Oh, if he kept his clothes on this time. You know what happened last time.
Yeah, this time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We don't need to talk about that.
Because it wasn't in Amsterdam. Right.
That's right.
So you got to see some cool, innovative new technology.
Yes.
So this whole orientation thing is throwing me off.
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm very worried about it.
Nobody else can see it.
The minute Corey said panel, I was like, I got to fix that panel. But what cool stuff did you see that you want to talk about?
I'm excited about some new materials. There was a new material called Kelpie that was a seaweed coated material that was really awesome, recyclable material. A new reusable box system. I'll do some episodes about all of these coming up on the Sustainable Packaging Podcast because they all deserve that. And it was really impressive. And then got to do a fireside chat with the head of the European Glass Council called FEVE, and they are
that's the name of the council.
That's the name of the council. It's FEVE. I don't remember exactly what those letters stand for, but I could look it up. but she was really impressive, and she's going to be on the podcast to talk about what they're doing in the glass industry to be more sustainable with packaging, because that's been a huge issue that we've talked about a lot on this show.
Is her name Faye? Because that would be
that would have been awesome. No, it was
Faye from Faye.
It's the European Container Glass Federation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, so you should also have the Living Ink people on your podcast.
We love you too.
Yes.
That'd be great. Oh, that guy loves us. That's awesome.
I did this. I did this lovely print run.
Oh, nice.
And it's a black ink that's made with no carbon black. It's made from algae.
Gray.
What's that?
That's why it's kind of gray. Like a light black.
It's and this is on I think this one's on a thermal transfer material. I also printed it just directly onto silver bop, bop, dop, 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 do, and then also semi-gloss. Yeah, it's not as rich as like a jet black or something like that, but it's got kind of a cool look to it. And we did nothing different. We literally took the ink, had never been run, as far as I know, on a narrow web label flexo press. We just grabbed some Analox and made a plate, thanks to my friends at Pacific Color, they're plate makers, and we just ran it and just swapped in some materials. It laid down really good. No issues there.
So why does it matter? Why does carbon black matter?
I know that they tried to ban carbon black in the state of Washington, where Corey lives, and and that's because a lot. This is why it would be good to have the people from Living Ink on your podcast, Corey. It sounds like the reason is because black pigmentation for a lot of these inks comes from fossil fuels, and they found a way to make it not only sustainable but also scalable using algae. And so you can get carbon black made without any fossil fuels. Now, the ban on carbon black in Washington, I don't think passed. It would have been pretty catastrophic for the state, because they were trying to ban that and some type of pigment, which literally would have shut down all printing in the state of Washington.
That's incredible.
So they probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, anyway, this was really cool. That was a fun experience.
No, I kind of want to dig into that a little bit, but we've got Alan Sayers asking if we get any metal packaging manufacturers on a podcast. No, we talk about some aluminum cans and stuff like that, but
I'm going to interview the head of sustainability for the Ball Corporation here coming up soon. So Stay tuned, Alan. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let us know. If you got any specific questions to dig into, let us know. We will be happy to.
Infinitely recyclable.
I hope you don't. I hope you put a time limit on it. The show can go on infinitely.
That's right. Hey, all right. So on the carbon black stuff, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, carbon black, you're going to get a richer black. It's just like any solvent-based stuff. Then people are moving into, you've got algae, you've got soy-based inks. Soy-based inks, the color is never really sharp. Unfortunately, that's just kind of what happens.
I haven't heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah, if you're doing like 4-color process like that, the
kind of dull
are going to be as rich. But the other thing too is because if it is soy based, then it's going to be impacted by EUDR, right? Because anything that's soy related is now EUDR impacted
in a negative way, right?
Yeah, well, you've got to be able to trace all details, right? So you've got to be able to have your DDS documentation, like your due diligence information on that, where that soy is collected, like forest locations, like all that information.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I think there are obviously positives and negatives to any type of material or any type of ink, right? Like I said, with this particular ink, we didn't do anything special. I just really wanted to see what would happen if we just put it in the press and ran it. And you know, we could probably get a little bit more depth out of it, I would imagine, if we were really trying to. But the people I've shown it to have actually said we like the look of it.
Yeah,
that
kind
it's
of a matte black look. Yeah,
yeah, and we put a matte varnish on it, so it wasn't.
that helps.
That would also help. Yeah, you could put a gloss varnish on it. You could. That's what I'm saying. You could do some things to the finishing of the label that would change a little bit how it looked. But, and the thing about it is like, I was talking to the Living Ink folks about this. They're like, well, our ink is more expensive, but for a label, the cost of the ink is a pretty small cost relative to the overall cost. So if your ink cost goes up 20% or whatever the number is,
that's not a big deal.
Maybe your label increases by 1% or 2%. It's not going to go up by 20%.
But it could be good PR to tell your customers.
Or if you're a label converter, like the Label King, maybe you say, yeah, we're cost neutral on this ink.
Yeah.
Let's help get it to market. Because at the end of the day, maybe you make a little bit less money on it, but if you could get that sort of advantage in the marketplace, that was my thought, was great. So, hey, if you want us to print with a water-based algae black ink, we can do that here. We're actually going to test a UV black ink as well, that Living Ink did in partnership with Actiga. So I just got these in yesterday. Wow, calm down, microphone.
Do you need a UV dryer to apply that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we have 2 UV lamps on our press. So this is a drawdown of the UV black, which you can see is going to be, you know, a little bit blacker. Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, kind of fun, sort of.
I like that you're experimenting.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fun part about not only hosting the show, but also having a production facility right on the other side of that wall over there, that we get to experiment and do stuff with.
Yeah,
when do I speak about Florida, by the way?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Talk about Florida. What did you do in Florida?
Okay,
Disney World, I assume.
At first, I was not at Disney World. By the way, it was freezing cold in Florida. I hadn't been there on the coldest days of the year. It was like 40 degrees. It was warmer in Utah than it was in Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I went out for an event I'd never been to called the Digital Packaging Summit. And there was people there from the corrugated industry, the flexible films, folding cartons, and labels. And it's a totally unique event. So, and at first I texted you guys, I was just like, I don't know about this. But when I got into what made it different, like the light bulb went off and I was like, this is awesome. So it's very limited as to who can attend and who can basically pay to sponsor. So the sponsors of the event, in this case, there was software companies, machine manufacturers, solutions providers, they pay to be there. And then the potential customers, so me at Label King, are sponsored to go to the event. So I have to submit an application that says why I'd be going, what my role is at the company. So they're guaranteeing that if you are paying to be at the show, that you're going to be meeting with people who are, you know, business owners or vice presidents or whatever it is. So that was pretty interesting. And at first I was like, is this going to be like some like terrible speed dating? Like to be just sold the whole time? Am I going to buy a timeshare at the end of this? It is Florida. That was not the case at all. So they did these case studies where there was a bunch of label converters in a room, and they brought in all these different press manufacturers, and they had to give a case study about their equipment, but using another, you know, a competitor of ours, had to share about why they loved it. And then we got to give feedback on the case study, what was good about it, what was not good about it. And then we had all these little like speed dating sessions that were 25-minute meetings, but I got a ton out of it. I learned so much about these companies that I didn't know about. And it's just very fast paced. There's hardly any downtime for 2 days. And I thought, is this maybe the future of these trade shows? And, you know, where instead of this kind of shotgun approach, You're like, we're going to put our money into an event like this
Yeah.
because we know we are guaranteed to meet with people that we want to meet with. And
especially for such a competitive industry like labels, there's so many people. Differentiate yourself is difficult.
Atlantic Packaging was there.
Yeah.
And
what a great company.
Yeah, I've heard good things. But it made it easy for me to go because the event covered everything for not just me, but for everybody who was attending as a sponsored attendee. And I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. Like when I got done with the event, so shout out to the Printing United folks who put it on, and they do their own big trade shows as well, right? But they do these summits. And I just wonder, I was thinking if it were me, and if I had to do this, but on the opposite end, where it's like, hey, here's a bunch of label customers.
Yeah.
And we vetted them, and it's all people that you want to talk with. And by the way, because we're paying for them to be there, they have to meet with you. And it's small. There's not a ton of people. There's a lot of just.
Do you remember who was there from Atlantic?
Yeah.
Tell me later.
Great dude. I saw George Pereira from Moy up in Canada, which is just north of America.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah. But George was there.
It's a country, right?
Doing some cold corrugated stuff. It was a really cool event, honestly.
All right, so who would you suggest go to that event?
Well, I would suggest if you are a company that buys equipment that you're looking, we don't even have a digital press here
for label production.
No, for labels, for flexible packaging.
Oh, wow.
Or folding cartons, or for corrugated. Those are all the people who are there. So if you're in the market for that, I would highly recommend following up with the Digital Packaging Summit. It's next year. It's going to be back in Florida, September of 2026. Oh,
that's right, Brandon.
Yeah, that's
the Great White North.
That's actually fake news. The true north is the Arctic.
It's in Washington.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
But yeah, if you're a COO, if you're a president, if you're an owner of a company, I would apply to see if you could go out to this. It's very intense. And I thought I knew a lot about digital printing. I did not. I didn't know about a bunch of different technologies out there. I've got a meeting this morning actually with a company that their VP is in town, and I'd never heard of their company. I went through their case study. I did the speed dating round, and I was like, this is really fascinating what this company is. I'd never heard of them before. And so that was great for my business as well. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. There was a couple of brands that were there to learn about digital printing, which I thought was interesting. They're going to be limited on the brand owners who show up, I'm sure, but and then the sponsors were HP, Domino, who else was
pizza.
Yeah,
great pizza.
That's actually how they introduced it. That's Mike Berry is great. They're out of Chicago, and he was on a panel. And they said, tell me about Domino. And he was like, well, we guarantee 10-minute or under delivery.
That's pretty smart to use that to your advantage.
Yeah. They don't shy away from it.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know. Like what? All right. So you went to a show, Corey, you went to a show. What else is happening in packaging? Like right now, like what's the biggest thing that you're hearing? What's the biggest thing that's going on?
There's kind of a shrink in the corrugated market. I've heard about some closures there. So,
yeah, there's been a few plants that have closed, but it seems like Asia Pacific is growing. Like they're blowing up with the corrugated market.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a relaxing of those tariffs is helping them.
No, it seems like it's been happening a little bit longer, but because those tariffs are just pretty recent, like in terms of the relaxing of them.
True.
Yeah, I don't know.
One conversation we had about packaging was this weird, it seems like collision of two competing agendas. So you had one which was SKU proliferation, where brands are trying to expand the amount of SKUs, and retailers are doing SKU rationalization because they want to be able to buy more of something so that they can keep inflation down.
Right.
So at the digital summit, it was a lot
problem.
of talk about SKU proliferation, right? It's like, well, how are you going to get brands? And of course, it's a digital packaging summit, so all the data was skewed towards this is what brands are trying to do, which is true, except that is an e-commerce play, it seems like, because retailers are doing the opposite. It seems like they're leaning into private label, which the private label Manufacturers Association show is happening right now in Chicago.
Maria's there. She's
the PLMA. So they're leaning in towards private label and SKU rationalization. So I'll be curious what impact this has on the packaging industry, and which of those two worlds is going to win out, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick of seeing all the variations of like Kit Kat and Oreos. It's like at some point in time, I think we're going to jump the shark and just be like, just stick to what you know.
No, but I think maybe that's just because we're old, right? I think for the most part, people want to try new things. And it's like almost like a dare to see what this next thing is going to taste like. And
it's like London.
Side, from the packaging side, you're obviously making more packaging, so that's great. But you're probably making less of it. Right. So more SKUs, less volume.
It's great for digital packaging. It's great for packaging to do it. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I just wonder about the consumer base, and especially younger consumers in a weird way are developing more like old people thing. They are. You see younger people now are trying. There's like, phone free.
Like they walk with a cane and stuff.
And they've got canes. There's AARP. They're taking.
I've heard that.
I do wonder about how many of these things are going to revert back, and where people are just going to be like, you know what? I'm sick of social media. I'm sick of all this.
I'm eating red vines. That's it.
I'm just going red vines out of my 1993 Honda Accord.
That's
it. I don't know. I'm looking at this article that just came out here on Sealed Air. Yeah, just came across the desk here. Thank you.
I thought they changed their name to C.
No, they're Sealed Air. They're talking about the article is Sealed Air buyout talks signals major shakeup in the packaging sector.
Tell me more.
Private deal would remove the bubble wrap maker from public markets and could reshape strategy, ownership, and investment priorities across the industry. I don't know. I mean, we're seeing a lot of companies in packaging that are laying off, shutting down, plant closures. There's a lot of
or buying other companies.
A lot of M&A happening, and then part of that is when you do those buyouts is that you do end up eliminating jobs, and I don't know how much of that is AI or technology or just consolidation, right?
I got to think the bubble wrap market has shrunk significantly.
Has the bubble burst on the bubble wrap market?
OMG, I was ready for that.
Oh,
there's a lot of fiber based replacement for that, right? I mean,
it's
there's a lot
simple
of brands
to replace.
But is it better? That's the question.
Well, it doesn't have to be better. It just needs to be as good. And I think.
But is it cheaper?
Well, it's a massive space savings. For example, Scotch Cushion Lock, 1 truckload equals 10 truckloads of bubble wrap. Imagine eliminating 90% of your freight for your packaging materials. Like that is a massive savings. So even if the material itself costs a little bit more per unit, you're saving your warehouse space and your trucking. It's an incredible value.
So Sealed Air is best known for inventing bubble wrap.
Do you know what it was invented for originally?
Protecting our children against the evils of the world. And
no, it was made as a decoration. It was a wall covering.
Oh wait, no, we got asked this, didn't we? During our
wallpaper.
It was a wallpaper or plastic.
You know what?
Like a insane asylum. You're just gonna just pop in that
I'm gonna replace
all day
mine.
long.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Corey, send me a bunch of bubble wrap on one wall, Scotch cushion lock.
And you can bounce off both.
Hi. Hey. Unsustainable. Sustainable.
I love it.
Oh, time to go.
Time's up.
By the way,
Time's up.
one of my
Party's up.
presentations, there was this guy whose phone kept going off, and he was just like, my diabetes thing, turn off. And I was like, sir, I'm no doctor, but if your diabetes alarm is going off on your phone, he's like, it's fine. And I'm like, but
Would you like a snack? Yeah.
I like somebody literally brought him a piece of candy. It's because he definitely
Something's
looked like somebody where the diabetes alarm was like, you should probably pay attention. Turn it off like 3 times. I was like, I mean,
We could take a break. Yeah.
fine. It isn't that important.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Bubble wrap this up.
Let's bubble wrap this up and pop it out.
Scotch cushion lock it.
All right, so we'll join us on Wednesday. Sorry, this one's a little wacky. We'll get back
Best
to
show we've
Ivy
done today.
on
Best
Wednesday.
show today.